The unmatched benefits of going vegan. The absolutely unmatched benefits of going vegan. Would you like to live a full, healthy lifespan, always be energetic, maintain your best look, feel and be high spirited all the time? Go vegan. Would you like to take no medications, be disease free, avoid surgery, rarely, if ever, see a doctor or be hospitalized? Go vegan. Would you like to avoid cancer, avoid heart attacks and strokes and high blood pressure, avoid Alzheimer's and diabetes? Then go vegan. Hippocrates, known as the father of medicine, in his Hippocratic oath said, "Do no harm, use food as medicine, and let medicine be your food." Translation being, go 100% vegan for life. Next, we have very famous vegetarians, including Paul McCartney, Deepak Chopra, Betty White, Dick Gregory, Nikola Tesla, Cicely Tyson, Mary Tyler Moore, Samuel L. Jackson, Al Gore, and many, 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 many others. Next up, we have very smart vegans, including Leonardo da Vinci, Albert Einstein, Gandhi, Stephen Jobs, Rosa Parks, Ben Franklin, Isaac Newton, and many others. President Bill Clinton discovered that the vegan diet would enable him to see his grandchildren grow up and how to avoid another bypass surgery. Albert Einstein said, "Nothing will benefit human health and increase chances of survival for life on Earth as much as evolution to a vegetarian diet." Thomas Edison said, "Nonviolence leads to the highest ethics, which is the goal of all evolution. Until we stop harming other living beings, we are still savages." Vegetarian world champion bodybuilders. How about some very powerful, large vegan animals on the planet Earth? From a biblical perspective, and even God said in Genesis chapter 129, "Be vegan." Read it. We trust you are aware that smoking is by far the number one cause of lung cancer. By the same token, many people do not realize that eating meat is just as bad as smoking in causing death and disease. In fact, eating meat is causing death and disease, is causing cancer, is causing atherosclerosis and high cholesterol. Eating meat is causing heart attacks and strokes. Eating meat is causing diabetes. The good news, however, is that this disease epidemic that we are currently in is preventable and reversible through lifestyle and environmental factors that we control, and especially by going vegan. However, we do need to be clear that eating meat causes breast cancer in women. Eating meat causes prostate cancer in men.
Most of us have seen this graph of Dr. Burkitt regarding South African populations in 1994. And as you know, the population then was divided up between rural blacks, urban blacks, coloreds, Indians, and whites. And what you have to look at is the CHD stands for coronary heart disease. The rural blacks had none. And then when they became urbanized, they started getting the risk factors for heart disease, namely obesity, high blood pressure, and diabetes. And then by the time you moved up the apartheid ladder and got to the colored population, they started getting full-blown heart disease, strokes, and such. And that was sustained in the more affluent populations. Also, you would notice that they didn't have dental problems, osteoporosis, and this is an extraordinary amount of information. Let's move on. So now we have a second graph showing that the rural blacks had absolutely no cases of lung cancer, breast cancer, colon cancer, stomach cancer, pancreatic cancer, nor prostate cancer. And as you go up the more affluent populations, then these cancers manifested. I might point out that the rural blacks had endemic hepatitis B in certain areas, must have eaten something hot to get esophageal cancer, and also had some exposure to human papillomavirus, but apparently urbanizing, they had more exposure to that and other viruses. Moving to the next slide and graph, the rural blacks had a paucity or no non-infective bowel diseases, and that includes from hemorrhoids to irritable bowel syndrome to colon cancer. And I might note they had no ulcerative colitis, which you could extrapolate to other autoimmune disorders such as multiple sclerosis, lupus, et cetera, and that might be because socially the environment was less inflammatory. Also want to point out that these numbers also apply to ancient Europe, ancient Japan, ancient China, Native American lands, etc. So you might look at a country, say for instance Germany or England, the rich folks were getting the congestive heart failure, the gout, etc. This is documented, whereas the poor folks who were eating the heartier bread and the more regular food, they didn't get those type of Western diseases as well. Let's turn our attention to 9 reasons we're not built to eat meat. We can compare ourselves to herbivores and carnivores, and certainly we're more like the herbivores, for instance, the gorillas. The molars are flat so they can grind. The jaws don't open wide, no claws. Our bowel walls are full of pouches so that the vegetables can truly digest, and intestines are very long, and meat could cause putrefaction because of that. Whereas flesh eaters have very short GI tracts, and the meat can pass through quickly, and the bowel walls are smooth, and they have long, sharp claws and jaws open wide, as well as having long canine teeth. Also, herbivores have alkaline stomachs, whereas carnivores have highly acid stomachs to digest meat. Herbivores drink by swallowing, and carnivores by lapping. Herbivores sweat through their skin pores. Carnivores sweat through their tongues. And most of us don't want to jump on a cow and eat it, or chicken and eat it when we see a smaller animal. We should eat similar to gorillas. That is, fruits, veggies, seeds, and nuts. Gorillas eat 50 to 60 pounds of food a day. 40% of their diet are dark green leafy vegetables. And one has to realize that you get more protein from dark green leafies per calorie than you do from flesh or meat-containing foods.